Hello and welcome to the EMC Live Show. My name's Mr. Andy. If you're watching after the fact, welcome on YouTube as well. Okay, we are going to get started very, very shortly. Just have one more little thing to do on my end here. Okay. If you're watching, you can always use the chat. Please do so. Today we're going to start with some warm-ups. Warm-ups today are going to be starting with missing values. Today is our grand opening. This is our first official stream where we've pretty much worked out most of the kinks, and we're hoping to build an audience from here. So please spread the word. If you watch this show, the more people who find out about it, the more people will like it, and the more likely it'll keep happening. Okay, today we're talking about a relatively difficult question for grade 4 and 3, but should be okay for grades 5 and 6. Well, that is our target audience today. I know we've announced in the past that we would be doing 0, 1, 2, like grade K 1 and 2, kindergarten 1 and 2 on Mondays. However, we felt the audience wasn't quite there and they were a little too young, so we pivoted a little bit. We're going to do a more wide audience Mondays, and then continue with the same schedule we had before. Okay, so we're trying to find the values of our 3 different types of cats. We got pink cat with whiskers, we got yellow cat without whiskers, and we got green cat with a tongue sticking out. For those who might have trouble seeing the colors apart, we want to know what they add up all together. We're given 3 different equations here. The first equation, pink plus pink equals negative 14. So pink plus pink equals negative 14. That must mean that pink is negative. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to get negative numbers, right? So we just have to figure out how we can split 14 up so that we have equal negative parts. Okay, so let's think about that for a second. Okay, if you said negative 7, you're on the right track to solving this puzzle. So negative 7, 2 sevens makes 14, so 2 negative 7s makes negative 14. And now we need negative 7 plus some number. Orange cat is going to give us 3. Give you a moment to think about that as well. So we're going to need a positive number that's more positive than 7 by 3. So we're going to take 7 and add that on to get back to 0. And then how much more do I need to get to 3? So I'm going to have 7 plus 3 more to get to 3. So orange is going to give us 10, positive 10. Okay, if you got that, great job. Next up is green cat. We've got 10 plus 2 of these green cats is negative 16. So if I'm starting at 10 and I have to get all the way down to negative 16, these better both be negative, or else I'm going to stay positive, right? So we need a negative number that's going to pull me down below 0, but 2 copies of it will pull me all the way down to negative 16. Okay, negative 16. From 10 to negative 16, how big is that jump? Well, we have to do 10 to get to 0, and then 16 to get into the negatives. So we're going to have 10 plus 16 is 26 for the whole jump. But we need to make the jump by doing 2 cats. Okay, so 2 cats is the same as 26 in terms of size. So if you got 13 plus 13, which gives 26, but make them negative, you got it correct. Now we just need to add them all up. Negative 7 plus 10 minus 13. Remember that adding a negative is the same as subtracting. Okay, negative 7 plus 10, we already know that. That's 3. This is 3 right here from this second equation. So we just have 3 minus 13. Awesome. If you got minus 10, you are correct. Great job. Our second warm-up for the day is called Code Makers. What we're going to be doing is making a code for these answers. We've got some information. We're told that 3 plus 6 is WRWN, Werwin. Werwin is the answer to 3 plus 6. But what is the answer to 3 plus 6? Of course, that's 9. So we also know that Werwin is equal to 9. What about 6 minus 3? That is, of course, 3. So 3 is equal to Yim. Yim is 3. And what about 6 times 3? You're right, that's 18. So we can write 18 in code as Nerpminw. Nerpminw. What a strange code. We're going to have to figure out what this code is, so luckily they provided us with some letters here for us to try it out. Okay, Werwin. But we know what this is called, right? In English, we would call this 9. So let's put English in red here. 9 is N-I-N-E. But we did W-R-W-N. Let's try another one. I'll do this code in blue. Y M exclamation N N. And we know that is 3. T-H-R-E-E. T-H-R-E-E. So that's going to be T-H-R-E-E. It looks like every time I've underlined N twice, I ended up underlining E twice. So I think N in code is E. Is E in English. And we can test that with our third word. Of course we can. Hey, this third word is 18. And it looks like my suspicions are correct. Okay, so now we need to figure out How did we get from N to E? How do we get from R to I? How do we get from W to N? What's the pattern? That's right, I'm going over one column and up two columns. Over one, up two. What about when I was on the edge, when I had a Y? I'm going to go over one, but I can't do that, so instead I go over and I wrap around. I wrap all the way around. And then I go up two, and we got T. So Y is T. Okay, so we think we figured out the code. Now we just have to figure out what we're putting into the code. What is 6 plus bracket 6 minus 3 all cubed? Well, 6 minus 3 cubed. Okay. We follow order of operations. We want to do parentheses first. 6 minus 3 is 3. Keep the cube. Keep the 6 plus out front. Then we want to do what? What do we want to do next? That's right. After parentheses comes exponents. So we want to do 3 cubed. If you've never seen a power before, if you're in one of these two levels, you've probably never seen them before. What this means is take 3, the bottom number here, and write it out this many times. So we're writing out 3 threes. Right? This is how many threes you write out. The bottom number is what you're writing out. Okay? And then we just multiply them all together. So it's a short way of writing 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3, 27. So we get 27 from the exponent. And we're going to add our 6. So the answer is 33. Now we just have to write it in code. Okay, we already know the 3 part of 33. It's going to end in YM exclamation mark NN. And we're going to have a hyphen in there for and we need to write out 30 now. I know the is YM. I know I is R. Okay. I know T, THIR. I need R. R is exclamation point. THIRTY. So I need a Y. And we haven't got a Y yet, so that's the one we had to figure out. Y goes over 1 and up 2 and gets us T. Over 1 up 2 is T. So our answer, oh no, we need, yeah. Our answer is Yimmerit. Yemen. Awesome job, team. If you got that, great job. Okay. I was going to hope for some questions, but it doesn't look like we have anybody in chat just yet. So let's jump into a competition problem. The figure on the right should be rotated 180 degrees around point A. What would the result be? Okay, 180 degrees is half a rotation. So we're not going to rotate it all the way back around. We're just going to rotate it half of the way around, starting at point A. So what would be on the top if I'm only halfway around? You can eliminate the ones that don't have that one on the top. Yeah, we should have red on top. So we can get rid of B, C, and E, and F. None of them have red on top. If I've only gone halfway around, red, this is going to be up here, so I'm going to have red on top. And then we check what would be below red. Well, blue will be at the bottom, and then blue will touch yellow, and green will touch red. So we check the two we have left, and yeah, they both have the same thing. We just have to figure out, is it going to look like that, or is it going to look like this one when I flip it around? Well, you might notice that it should look about the same as what it does right now. So I think it's got to be D. If you got D before me, that's great. You are awesome. Next up for competition, we have something from Math Kangaroo. You add up all the whole numbers from 2000 to 2026. And then you divide it by 27. What quotient do you get? Now, if you're doing a competition, do you have time to add up all of these numbers? 27 numbers, all really, really, really big? I know I sure don't have that much time on a competition. I'm trying to go fast. I'm trying to answer quickly. So how can I do that? How can I answer quickly? Well, what is adding up all of a bunch of numbers and then dividing it by a number? Well, if that number is the number of things I added up, that's just the average. So I have to check if I have 27 things in this list. So I start at 0, and I'm counting up to 26. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't even have time to do that. So you might remember a quick way to determine how much is in a list of items. You subtract them. We'll get 26 here. And then we add 1 if we're including both numbers that are in the list. And that's because we have to include the one we left. When you subtract, you didn't include it in your count. You're counting the gaps, but we want to count the goalposts in this case. Okay, so 26 plus 1 gives us 27 items. So yes, indeed, this is an average. So we're looking at how do averages work. Sorry about my alarm. How do averages work? Well, they're trying to find the number that's in the middle of all the numbers. What number is in the middle of all of these numbers? It's probably one of these three. We can eliminate this one. It looks a little too big. It's too close to 2026. So we're going to find the one that's an equal size jump from 2000 as it is from 2026. How many jumps are there from 2000 to 2012? The first one we have to check. If you said 12, you're correct. There's 12 little jumps. And then from 2012 to jump to 2026. This time we're actually counting the jumps, not the goalposts. So we just have to subtract. 14. Those are not equal. They're not in the middle. So 12 is not in the middle. And therefore 14 won't be in the middle because 2013 is in the middle. If you got that before me, great job. Keep up the great work. Okay, we don't have many in chat today, but if you are in chat, say hello. Give me a wave. Ask me some questions. Jessica says Wanda is lying. Wanda says Annalise is lying. Annalise says Wanda is lying as well. And Michelle says Jessica is lying. How many of the girls are lying? Okay. Jessica. I'm going to use an arrow. Jessica says Wanda's lying. Wanda says Annalise is lying. Annalise says Wanda is lying. Michelle says Jessica is lying. Okay. How many are lying? Well, if both of these are saying that the other is lying, only one can be telling the truth. Why is that? Well, if they're both telling the truth and they're both lying, then one of them must be telling the truth. So one of them is telling the truth, saying that the other is lying, and the other one is saying a lie by saying the other person is lying. So if I look at this problem, I have two people with opposite opinions, which means only one can be telling the truth and one was lying. So let's look at case one. Annalise is telling the truth. If she's telling the truth, then Wanda is lying, which means Jessica is telling the truth because she said, this is a true statement, because she said Wanda is lying. Wanda lied about Annalise because they have to be opposite. Then Michelle must be lying about Jessica. So we have two lies. What if I change it up? What if I change it up? What if Wanda, case 2, Wanda's telling the truth? Then Annalise is lying. And if she was telling the truth, Wanda was telling the truth, then Jessica was lying about it. And therefore, Michelle is telling the truth that Jessica was lying. And so we have two lies yet again. So our answer is C. Great job. Okay, 3 aliens meet at an intergalactic gathering, each of them with a different number of eyes. Alien Abel sees with 8, or no, not sees with 8 eyes. He sees 8 eyes. He's looking around at his friends and sees 8 eyes. Blinky sees 10. Cordo sees 6. So no alien can see its own eyes, even though they might be on those noodly appendages there. So how many eyes does Cordo have? Well, let's draw another diagram. We've got Abel, Blinky, and Cordo. Cordo sees 6. So A plus B is equal to 6. That's how many eyes they have, is the A plus B. Okay. Abel sees 8. So B plus C is equal to 8. Similarly, B sees 10. A plus B, or A, B plus A plus C is equal to 10. So who has the most eyes? Who's in both of the highest numbers? It's got to be Cordo. So we can kind of check when we get there, because he sees the least eyes, he must have the most eyes. We can check when we find our answer. Let's add up some of these equations all together. Let's add them all together. How many eyes do they all see? 10 plus 8 plus 6. They see 24 eyes. But that means they see more eyes than they have. Right? Because A is counted twice when we add them all up. So we're going to have 2 A's from there. We're going to have 2 C's from here. And we're going to have 2 B's from here. And when we add them all up, we get 24. Okay. So 24 is twice of all the eyes, double all the eyes, which means A plus B plus C is half of that. It's 12. Okay, now we can subtract here. We had A plus C. These two is 10. But all three together is 12. So B must equal 2. Blinky sees 2. Or Blinky has 2, rather. Okay. And then B, we want to look at the one where we get rid of and keep Cordo. So we want to subtract A plus B. A plus B was 6. So we're going to subtract A plus B is 6 to get that C is 6 to find the number of eyes Cordo had. If you got that before me, super job. Keep up the great work. Just going to take a short water break. When we're back, we'll do some more competition stuff. Hello, hello, welcome back. We're continuing with our competition segment. If you have any questions, leave them in the chat. Muskan was going to her grandma's for a visit. She packed a pair of green shorts, a pair of purple shorts, and a pair of blue shorts. She also packed a white shirt, lilac shirt, and orange shirt. How many outfits can she make using one short and one shirt? If she doesn't ever want to wear orange with purple. Okay, give you all a moment to think. If I was doing this one, I would color code it. I like my color coding. Lilac is a shade of purple. But luckily, it's a shirt just like this orange one, so you can't wear them together already. I'm going to use black for white. Okay, and then you have blue shorts, purple shorts, and green shorts. Green, blue, purple, shorts, white, orange, lilac, shirt. Okay. So we can look at it as a choice matrix here. For the first choice, I'm choosing their short. And for the second choice, I'm choosing their shirt. Okay. How many choices do I have for the short? I have 3 choices. How many choices do I have for shirts? I have 3 choices again. And these are independent events, so we can multiply them. Independent just means that what I chose for the short doesn't affect what I choose for the shirt. They're equally likely outcomes. But what we do have is a restriction. I'm not allowed to have purple with orange. Well, luckily, there's only one combination that works that way because we're not going to wear 2 shirts and no shorts. That's part of the restriction. So we're just going to take away one, the one option that we've counted that doesn't work out of the 9, and we take it away. And we get 8 outfits. Okay, next up. The average of 3 consecutive odd numbers in a row, consecutive means in a row, is 23. Find the greatest of the 3 numbers. So this is a noetic question, and they are famously quick to answer if you know what's going on, but you don't get any multiple choice on these competitions. So you have to know your stuff when you're doing noetic. Okay? So let's do some noetic by knowing what this stuff means. Consecutive means in a row. Odd means not even, can't be divided by 2. And the average is when I add those numbers up and divide them by how many there are. I want to find the greatest of the 3 numbers. Okay, so let's start listing out some odd numbers. Got 3, 5, 9, 11. If I average 3 of these, will I get 23? No, what am I going to get for the average of 7, 9, and 11? I'm going to get 9. I'm going to get the middle number. Luckily, when I have consecutive numbers, I always get the middle number being the average of that list. As long as I have an even or an odd number of numbers. If it was an even number, say I had to take 4 numbers instead of 3, it's going to be in between 9 and 11. Okay, so we have 9 is the average here, which means I just need 3 numbers where the middle one is 23. And they all have to be odd. So I need the next lowest and next highest odd numbers. 21, 25. What is the greatest of those 3? 25. That's our correct answer. Okay, this one's a little trickier. What fraction of the white square, or the whole square rather, is white? Simply phrased question, difficult to answer. Okay, well, it's not too bad if you remember the area of a triangle. What's the area of a triangle? Base times height over 2. Okay. So, this triangle is 10 wide. How tall is it? It's got a base of 10. How tall is this? Well, we know it's going to be, because it's a square, the same as this side over here, which is 10 plus 5. That gives us 15. So the area of the first white triangle is 10 times 15 divided by 2. So that's 150 divided by 2, or 75. So this part is 75. Similarly, this part is also 75. Now we just have to figure out the area of the green part. The area of the kite. Well, luckily, we can break this down. We have a square right here and 2 triangles. If I cut this down this way, I get 2 little green triangles. Okay. So this corner up here is 5 by 5. That's going to be 25. And then if I look at these ones, I have a base of 5. But how tall is it? That's 10. So we're going to have 5 by 10 over 2, which is 50 over 2, which is 25. So I get 25 here. And similarly, it's 5 here as a base with a height, if I turn my head 90 degrees, of 10. And so I get another 25. So what fraction of the square is white? We have 2 75s out of all of it, which is 3 75s. So we get 2 out of 3, 2/3. Super job. Okay. And my last one for the competition section, similarly to the ladies, the boys are also accusing each other of lying. Jean said, Simon just said that he was going to tell the truth all day. And Simon said, well, Jean is a liar. If one of them is supposed to be telling the truth all day and the other one is supposed to be lying all day, which one is telling the truth? Well, let's make an assumption. Let's say that Jean is lying right now. Simon just said that he was going to tell the truth all day. If that's a lie, Simon is telling the truth. That Jean is a liar. Okay. If Jean is telling the truth, Simon said that he was going to tell the truth all day. If he's a truth teller, that works because Jean is going to tell the truth all day. Well, then, if he says Jean is a liar, then Simon couldn't be telling the truth all day, so we get a circular argument that doesn't work. Okay? So, to me, it says Simon is the actual truth teller. Okay? One of them is supposed to be telling the truth all day, and the other is supposed to be lying all day. So if Jean is the one that's supposed to be telling the truth all day, that means that Simon was the one who should be lying all day. But Jean just, as the truth teller, said he was going to tell the truth all day. So Jean must be a liar, but we just said he was a truther. So that's why it doesn't work. Okay, we currently don't have any viewers, so I'm going to end the live stream early today. I also have to end it early on Wednesday, but I had some interactive segments I was hoping to do with some chat, but I also was missing my co-host today, so I apologize. Hopefully you can catch this video in the future and work through some of these problems on your own, and I will see you in the future. Have a good one.